Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to FC Destiny with AC Capri. We're gonna keep this episode short, but you see it there, it's July 1st. We are in season number 9 now with our beloved Blue Waves. If you haven't caught up on this series already, I highly recommend you do so. We're deep into it, but it has been a blast. It's been a different grind than the past few seasons of this series, what I call FC Destiny. If you haven't checked out the Barrow Town series, the Battersea series, go check those out too. It's been a long grind to get to this point. First time in Italy, and we're very close to really getting over that hump and trying to get into the Champions League. If you haven't already though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, all the good things. I appreciate all the support, and make sure you join the Discord so we can chat in between episodes. I leave the link to everything down in the description. I'll see you in the comments, but I just wanted to address my lack of video urgency this past month or so. I've been very busy at work. I joined an offline league in a Discord where I'm controlling the New England Revolution, Leeds United, and the Scottish national team. It's very realistic, like Football Manager. The games are simmed though on EAFC and broadcasted to YouTube. I'm gonna leave the link to those YouTube videos to that channel down below. So that's been time consuming for me as well. I'm really enjoying it. It's like a very real manager experience, and I've gotten to meet some pretty cool guys along the way with that. Shout out to the Armchair Soccer Federation. Found it via a new friend I made here thanks to YouTube, LDJ, who's been active in my comments. He's made a series like this of his own on his channel, and it's absolutely amazing. Go check that out as well. He pointed me in the direction of this league, so I've just been getting really into that. I had just been very busy with work. If you guys want to check out any of my games on that YouTube channel, you can. But if you have any questions on any of this, please leave comments or ask me in my Discord like I have said. But let's change the energy. Back to AC Capri. Back to UTEP as well. Yes, it's been a while since I've said that. We're gonna finish both of these series this summer. That's the goal. Luckily, I have decided that I'm gonna release one more UTEP video as a finale of that series, because that's all I really have time for. That's gonna come out on Saturday, July 5th, so stay tuned if that's a series you've enjoyed or want to see the end of, and I will absolutely be trying to commit to College Football 26 content as well. Probably the exact same thing as the UTEP series, just a new version and a new flavor to it. But also, let's just get right on with this AC Capri series. Season number 9, we are officially here. The unfortunate feeling we were left with following last episode is that we failed to qualify for any European competition. However, I'm back, feeling excited about the potential this series has here, and what I'm hoping is the final 2 seasons, maybe 3, I think an absolute maximum 3. Exciting times here. This episode is going to be short, yes, but cover some very big news around the club, and in this career mode, give us a chance to get back on track together, and then set up an episode full of the first matches of the season next episode. So, one thing I definitely want to know, we are once again going to be in the Italian Supercoppa this season. I totally forgot that the winners and the runners-up of the league and the cup all make the Supercoppa. So as runners-up of the Coppa Italia, we play Serie A winner AC Milan, and on the other side is Napoli and Roma. And believe it or not, we are defending champions of this competition. We won it in Saudi Arabia last year, if you missed that, and this year it's going to be played in the United States of America. But before we go any further, let's spin the wheel and address a random scenario. So the first thing we do in this random scenario, if you remember, is spin the wheel. So let's see what player we get. And it looks like we're going to land on, Riccardo Galli, the young Italian center back. Next thing we do on random.org is get a number 1 through 30, and I already have some scenarios teed up. This will tell us which one we do. And we are going to be doing number 21 for Riccardo Galli. So like I've said before, there's good, there's bad. Let's head down to number 21, Riccardo Galli. Unfortunately for Riccardo, he has broken up with his longtime girlfriend, and it's obviously hurting him. Minus 20 composure and plus 15 aggression for the next 2 episodes. So not only is he sad, but he's a little bit pissed off. Maybe she was cheating on him. Oh, Riccardo, I'm sorry, brother. So as you can see on the back end here in the live editor, follow my cursor down to the right side, we're looking at Riccardo Galli's composure. It's down to a 35. His aggression up to a 79 for the next 2 episodes. Alright, so we're in the squad now, and this is pretty much what I'm going to talk about for the rest of the episode. I'm not going to go over every player's overall potential like I do most times, I'll update the Google Sheet, which is down in the description, of course. You can check that to see the overalls and potentials, which I will update this week. Like I said though, I'm just gonna note big things happening heading into this season and following the last. First thing, let's wrap up last season. Player of the season, Buffet from season number 8. 18 goals was the club high, plus 7 assists. Lots of big goals, some crazy movements. This guy is incredible to watch. It is officially the season where we pass the torch to him now. As our number 1 striker, we are planning on selling Josh Sargent. But let's not get over Buffet so quickly though. We did add one more playstyle for him, acrobatic, but we also upgraded a lot of his attributes in general. You can check him out at this point. Upgraded his stamina a little bit too, since he's going to be starting a little bit more, but I think it's time we unlock Buffet even more. We are also planning on selling Ernad Spaho, who's back from his loan, but like I said, the plan is to sell Josh Sargent at this point. He's running out on his contract. He has 12 months left, so we have a month or so to see if there's any teams that'll take a bite and come after Josh Sargent, who has scored 51 goals for Capri over his 3 seasons with us. In 107 appearances, you can never forget that hat trick he scored against Atalanta in the Coppa Italia final to win us our first major trophy either. He's gonna go down as a club legend, but it's about time we move on and hand over the full-time backup role to Paddy Pringle, especially with Mo Money heading out on loan. I think this is a good time to be a Paddy Pringle fan. I do think this is the season where we start to see him score some big goals for us. But once again, this is Buffet's team. We're also going to be selling the now 33-year-old goalkeeper Anthony Rachapi, who's been with us for 3 seasons as well. We got him for free from Hull City. He's been fantastic. 11 clean sheets in his career with Capri over just 36 appearances, but as the backup to Luigi, he's been just what we needed. But it's time to move on, and it's time to hand over the keys of the backup goalkeeper role to 6'5" Romanian Sergiu Romanescu. Also in the news, Marco Curto and Ciro Capitani, both older Italian center backs, are going to be retiring at the end of this season. Marco with 56 appearances currently for the club, Ciro with, 213, and just as we had hoped from day one as our first ever captain of the club, he will retire only ever playing for the Azzurre Ande. Absolutely brilliant. But I talked about Sergio Romanescu becoming the full-time backup. We actually have a number of faces like that returning, and one in particular who the fans are dying to see in action as he's going to make his debut for the senior team this year. First and foremost, Godfrey Obama is returning from his loan, and he is going to be back at Capri this season, probably taking over the Marco Curto role and fighting with Ricardo Galli for that third center back spot behind Wagner and Damak. Also returning from loan this season, Camillo Biaggi. We're gonna take him back and throw him into an already crowded midfield, which is fine in my opinion. We are totally loaded with midfield depth right now, so I'd like to see a lot of these guys play, even though we know a lot about them all, and then maybe sell one of them in January permanently. So I think right now, from top to bottom, Parisi is definitely our top midfielder, and then probably Mbube second, Skav third, Tukuafu is probably the 4th option after last season, and Biaggi 5th, but Tukuafu, Biaggi, Skav, and Mbube, I would say right now, could all be sold in January. Probably not Sam Mbube for what he means to this club, but maybe these 3 are going to be a little bit more on the hot seat. I do love Henrik Skav though, so I think we're really just between Tukuafu and Biaggi, which one of them is going to get sold in January, or maybe even next summer. But finally, we have a debut season coming from one of the highest potential prospects we've ever had, the highest potential prospect at Capri, Tyron DeGuara, the Maltese Messi. A reminder, he does have 92 potential at this point, up to a 73 overall, and he is our wonder boy. He's one of the highest prize wonder kids in all of Europe right now in this career mode. He's gonna back up Santi Rojas on the left wing, but I just can't wait to see what we're gonna get out of Tyron. Our new number 77 will absolutely have the spotlight shining on him for his appearances this season. However, let's move on. I'm gonna sim until the first match of the season. It's gonna be a big one. We're actually facing Roma at home, a rematch right away of that Coppa Italia final. I'll update you guys on where we sell Sargento, Ernad Spaho, and Anthony Rachapi. First deal on the table, Ernad Spaho's going to Orlando City for just under 3 million euros. And Josh Sargent has officially been sold to Hoffenheim in Germany. Just want to say thanks to Josh Sargent for 3 years of just amazing moments. Never gonna forget this legend. And finally, we can head back to the drawing board as Anthony Rachapi has also been sold. All 3 players we set to sell have officially gone. Rachapi is going to Dusseldorf, so also to Germany. So we've got a really pivotal season ahead in this career mode, as you probably know by now, or if you don't, the goal of this series is to start from the bottom with a low-rated created team and reach the Champions League final someday. We do want to win it, like we did last year with Barrow Town, but with how long this series is taking, we may only get one shot at the Champions League final. We're gonna have to be extremely aggressive this season and find a way to guarantee a top 4 finish so we can make it to the Champions League next season, and honestly, probably follow up this season with an aggressive move or 2 in the transfer window next summer. But I really love this team. I think we can push for the league this year. All depends on how far Buffet can take this team now that he is the main man. But what does Capri have in store this season? Let's find out together starting next episode. But until then, this has been Therios. You'll never walk alone.